I'm Katie.
And I'm Brandon.
And welcome to Specter Space, where every week we take you on a deep dive of the most ghastly, ghoulish, and mythical phenomena the world has to offer. This week I'm going to be talking about the famous Skinwalker, a demented dark magic being that comes from Navajo folklore. Stay tuned to learn how this creature came to be and one of the most famous encounters with a Skinwalker.
I'm already shaking.
Me
Got the
too.
chills. You see me over here? I'm freaking out.
But anyway, to start this off, I'm going to tell you a very strange fact that has nothing to do with ghastly, ghoulish, or mystical.
Okay.
A chef's hat has exactly 100 pleats.
That's great.
Each pleat, you won't believe this, each pleat represents the 100 ways to cook an egg.
Are you serious?
For real. Well, according to Best Life article.
I would ask you, what are the 100 eggs to cook 100 ways?
Has to be a different... Yeah, no.
But that's a different day. That's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast.
That's Katie's
This is
cooking
about
show.
ghosts. So, Brandon, are you ready to learn about the Skinwalker?
Yes.
Great. So the Skinwalker, it comes from Navajo culture.
Sorry, wait.
My
Bald spit. Have you ever done that in class? Like it was like at like the worst time possible, and you just like swallow your spit and start choking in class. Like I feel like people must think you're pretty inept as a human to like choke on your own spit.
Yeah.
All right, but anyways, I'm ready. Sorry.
I'm ready too. So a Skinwalker comes from Navajo culture and Navajo folklore. Now, to kind of give you a little history background about the Navajo tribe, they are part of the indigenous peoples who were here before all of us white people in North America.
Got it.
Got it. So they lived towards the Four Corners, which is on Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. So those four states aligned to create the Four Corners, and that's mostly where their tribe usually lived. That's their traditional homeland. So the Navajo, they believe that some places contain powers of good and evil. And some people in these tribes, like medicine men, they use these powers to heal people and to aid their community. Whereas some others used it for witchcraft, to harm others or cause misfortune. So basically you can use these powers for good or for bad. Now, a Skinwalker, it isn't really a creature that just kind of randomly popped up out of nowhere. In order to become a Skinwalker, a witch of a tribe has to be inducted by a secret society of witches.
Interesting.
Yeah, this secret society, no good. They like to meet in dark and secluded areas like caves to perform ceremonies and rituals, to plot their evil doings, and to initiate new members. So in order to be initiated into this secret sect of witches, the initiate must perform one of the most evil, vile acts that you can ever do, which is murder a very close family member.
We all wanted to do that.
Some of us.
That's what I heard.
That's just what I heard from the grapevine.
I really don't know. That's just what
Oh my god, he's a Skinwalker. Ugh.
Take two.
So after that task, which is to murder a very close family member, is completed, then that witch is initiated into the secret society, and they now have the powers of the Skinwalker bestowed upon them.
So wait. Sorry.
It's all good.
You kill somebody, or you kill your close relative.
A close family member.
And then they just like give you the superpower?
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so normally it looks like, according to history, a lot of the victims have been like siblings of the person, but it can be like anyone, like mom, dad, grandma, grandpa.
Okay, got it, yeah.
Family dog, which
No.
I don't know.
I feel like that's
so.
the easiest one though. Like you're like, oh, I hate
Could
Sparky.
be, because speaking of that, after they get their supernatural abilities of a Skinwalker, they're able to shapeshift. That's one of the main powers of the Skinwalker. So they shapeshift into any animal they can, but they normally go for more predatory animals like wolves, bears, cougars, dogs, stuff like that, coyotes, all of that stuff. And the reason for the name Skinwalker is because the Skinwalkers wear the skin of the animal that they shapeshifted into. Hence, Skinwalker.
Cut to that video of Jim Carrey in what was that movie? Cable Guy.
Cable, oh my God. Okay.
Hello, Clarice. It is good to see you again.
Hello, Clarice. Yeah, so they would shapeshift into these predatory animals, and that's why it was kind of taboo for anybody to wear the skin or the pelt of a wolf, a bear, like any predatory animal, but like buckskin and sheepskin and like leather is okay for them.
Oh wait, so that's interesting. So they didn't wear like wolf skin usually.
It was
and was it for that reason for skinwalkers? Do you know?
Yeah, for Navajo culture, I'm pretty sure. Other
interesting.
tribes, I can't really speak for, but from what I read, it's taboo to wear any predatory animal's pelt. So like mostly it's just from deer skin or sheep skin or just like leather from something.
Okay, got it. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. You learn something every day. Sometimes some skinwalkers even wear the skull of the animal strapped to their head or sometimes antlers, and they believe that to give them even more stronger powers as well, or to heighten their powers. Now, after they shapeshift into the animal of their choice, they gain their abilities like agility, strength, flexibility, and whatnot, and they can basically change into any animal that they desire depending on the task that they need to do or their evil doings.
Got it. So they're like a meat transformer.
Pretty much.
Cool.
Meat transformer. So, skinwalkers have a crazy amount of powers, not just shape-shifting, but they are also able to read minds, to possess people. They're able to harm people from afar, and sometimes even kill people. Sometimes even skinwalkers have been responsible, or the blame has been pinned on them for droughts and just bad things that happen, like natural disasters to tribes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, a scary thing that I learned, in fact...
Hold on, we got a skinwalker. Oh, did he stop? He stopped recording.
Oh, you suck, Milo.
Oh, wait, no, he didn't. We're good.
We're
Sorry.
good? Oh,
we
my
have
Lord.
We have a real life skinwalker in our house, and it's
He's
our cat
literally
Milo.
so evil. He's a menace to society.
He's been extra menacing ever since we hit the record button. I think he knows.
He knows. So, now a fact that I learned that I did not particularly enjoy learning, that some Navajo people, well, actually Navajo culture, they believe that speaking the name Skinwalker aloud is bad luck because it makes it all the more likely to appear.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that we've been saying
Skinwalker.
it
It like 30 times.
Yeah.
So far.
What's our limit before like one comes knocking on our door?
I don't think there is a limit.
Oh, that's good. Is like I
Oh,
didn't know if it was...
speaking of knocking on our door, I do have a list of telltale signs that a skinwalker may be near.
That might be useful.
Yeah, now we need to pay attention to this because I said skinwalker like 50 times.
Okay.
So, this includes loud knocking on windows, banging sounds on the outside walls of your home, scraping sounds on roofs or walls, and lastly, some of these bad boys were apparently caught peeking through windows.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that. Now I'm looking at that open window over there and I'm like,
Right.
better close it. And it's still kind of light outside, so we should be fine. I say
Well,
that.
I
And
feel
all
like
of a
I've
sudden it
seen
pops up.
videos of like people like being chased by like skinwalkers, but it's like the middle of the day.
Yeah,
It
remember
doesn't like matter, right?
remember that one video that creeped me out beyond belief? They were like driving on the like a backcountry road in the middle of the night, and they stopped and they had their phone on with a flashlight pointing at a tree, and you could just see this figure behind a tree just kind of peeking around and like peeking back and going around and peeking
Oh, that's so
back.
creepy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Here's how you can possibly kill a skinwalker. Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that in a second, but here's possibly how. So you could get a shaman to reverse the skinwalker's powers back onto itself, or you could get a direct hit to the neck or to the head from a gun using a bullet dipped in white ash. So you gotta be a real sharpshooter, and if you're not, you're screwed, because if you miss and that assassination attempt on the skinwalker fails, well, that witch is going to be pretty pissed off and will seek revenge against you. So it's best to just
Not
live
do
with
that.
it.
Yeah. Live with
Live
the
with
cursed
it until
animal thing taunting you.
find a silver lining.
Set boundaries.
Set
That's the best thing
boundaries.
with any relationship is setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries.
Set boundaries with your skinwalker.
Even with a predatory relationship, you need to set boundaries with your skinwalker.
So you know what's crazy? You say like you told us how to kill one, which means that somebody has killed a skinwalker.
Maybe.
Well, no, like how else would you know? Like the silver ash.
Because I looked it up on the internet.
Yeah, but like the silver ash thing, it's like somebody had to like figure that out.
I was thinking it was going to white ash.
Or white
but I was
ash.
thinking it was going to be a silver bullet. That's actually how you kill a Wendigo, which stay tuned. But I don't know. I believe the shaman one more because the shaman, more because it's more magical powers and stuff like that. I kind of believe that one more. So now we're going to get into one of the most infamous cases of a skinwalker to date, which is Skinwalker Ranch.
That's the ranch in Utah, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, known for its paranormal happenings and UFO sightings, the 512-acre ranch is located in the northeastern part of Utah, which is actually not within the region that we previously said the Navajo resides. However, there are some theories that we'll get to later that may explain this little plot hole. But anyway, the property passed around ownership since its development in the early 1900s. But when Terry Sherman and his wife Gwen purchased it in 1994 for their family of 4, things started to take a turn. Just after moving in, Terry Sherman and his father were out with the livestock when they spotted a large wolf or coyote approaching. They watched in horror as the beast swiftly jumped at the cattle and latched onto the nose of a calf through the corral bars. The beast was attempting to drag the calf through the bars, prompting Terry and his father to bolt over to it. Terry began beating the wolf, but its grip stayed. He then aimed his gun at the creature and shot it at point-blank range, and still it held on. After a few more shots at the beast, it finally released the calf and trotted off into the wilderness. According to them, not a single wound or drop of blood was found on the wolf, even after being pummeled with bullets. They tried to track the wolf, but after following its footsteps for a while, the trail just suddenly ended as if the animal just simply vanished into thin air.
Wait, so that's weird. So they literally can't get hurt or killed by anything other than what you mentioned.
Yeah, Terry was literally standing over this wolf or coyote that's holding on, so he's basically, it's grabbed onto the nose and being pulled through the corral bars, this poor little baby cow. And Terry Sherman walks over to it, starts beating this wolf, and it's like not letting go. So finally he takes his gun, he points it, and it's like literally this far, probably even all the way up to the animal. He is shooting it and shooting it and shooting it, and
Nothing.
it's just like holding on until
Weird.
after a while the shots just like made the beast let go and just ran off. Just was like,
Crazy.
Now, Terry Sherman's wife, Gwen, even had an encounter when she was driving in her car. The wolf was so enormous that its back was parallel with the top of her car door. Gwen also stated that the wolf was walking with another dog or dog-like animal, but she wasn't able to identify it clearly. So, really, really big beast that is on their ranch. They're starting to get really worried about it and just really confused, like they had never seen a wolf or anything like this size before.
Yeah, it's crazy how big that was.
Yeah. And
As big as an SUV or a car.
pretty much. I'm assuming it's an SUV because it's a ranch.
Yeah.
But yeah, the back was like parallel with like the top of her car or like her
That's
window.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Over the course of 2 years, the Shermans and their neighbors recalled seeing many strange creatures they couldn't quite identify. One of these creatures even resembled Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Whatever was going on with that land was on a whole new level of weird, especially when their encounters began to get otherworldly. The Shermans allegedly saw UFOs, crop circles, and they witnessed disappearances of their livestock. They reported hearing the sounds of heavy machinery operating underground at night, as well as disembodied voices speaking an unfamiliar language. One of the most haunting instances of this extraterrestrial activity is the deaths of 7 of the Sherman's cows. One cow was found with a gaping 6-inch hole in its left eyeball, another with a similar mutilation. Some of the cows even had large holes carved out in their rectums. One of the holes in their rectums was so big that you could literally see into the body cavity of this cow. Oh yeah, trigger warning, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
All of these cows, they showed signs of horrible mutilations that are definitely not the results of predatory animals. So it was really unexplainable how these cows have been like meticulously mutilated.
Yeah, you either got a sick person or a big blood-sucking hummingbird.
That's not where I thought that was going. So just 2 years of owning the property, The Shermans, they finally had enough of these horrible events, and they sold it to billionaire businessman Robert Bigelow, who, big shocker here,
Do you know what year that was in?
1996.
1996. Okay. That
Yeah.
was a good year. The year I
Yeah.
was born. Best year, actually.
Yeah, big shocker here. Robert Bigelow, he's very into ufology. So Robert Bigelow, after he bought the ranch, he apparently set up high-end equipment and hired scientists to collect, analyze, and log data of extraterrestrial happenings to explain all of the events that transpired. Now, as we said earlier, the Navajo people, they stayed towards the southeastern part of Utah at the Four Corners. So how is it that a Navajo skinwalker ended up all the way in northeastern Utah? So one theory suggests that the Navajo had put a curse on the Ute people. See, these two tribes, they had a really rocky relationship involving enslavement and land disputes. So they're not really getting along too well. This curse that the Navajo put on the Utes allowed the Skinwalker to take root in the area near present-day Skinwalker Ranch called Dark Canyon. Since then, it has tormented the Ute people, and it looks like it's stuck around and will continue to haunt the grounds of Skinwalker Ranch indefinitely. Now, that theory actually kind of makes sense because at my workplace, there's a little rumor that there is a...
Well, where do you work?
I can't say.
Oh, yeah. She works in a place.
So the place that I work at, which I may or may not say in the future, I don't know. All we need to know is that there is probably a skinwalker that has like taken root there. And it makes sense because in the area where we live, there was prominent Ute peoples who used to live here. Like this is kind of the region where those tribes lived. So that theory kind of makes sense, especially up here too, because like I said, it's just a theory. I don't actually know if there's a skinwalker at the place I work at. I really hope not.
We could say you work outdoors.
I do work outdoors.
Where a Wendigo.
Wendigo. It could be either or.
Skinwalker. Okay, well, you know what makes sense? Sorry, I'm going to circle back to Skinwalker Ranch. I guess it makes sense that like all the disturbances that are happening aren't actually like UFOs or like extraterrestrial anything. It could just be a shape-shifting skinwalker. Like a skinwalker could like literally turn itself into like an alien.
So
right?
are you saying that aliens aren't real?
Yeah, they could just be a bunch of skinwalkers.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
could
just
be. I'm pretty sure. Like I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure they can only shapeshift into animals
Oh, okay.
because like they wear the skin.
Yeah. What if it was like a giant gecko?
Maybe. That poor gecko. His skin is like that big. It's just like.
Oh wait, do they have to like put the skin on? I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused because I thought they could just like morph into these things.
Yeah, they do. They shapeshift.
So why would you need all like a bunch of gecko skin?
Because.
So they have to like put the skin on first, right?
No.
So that they just turn into a gecko.
Look.
That's just a dude wearing a bunch of fur.
Like, look at his feet and look at his hands.
Oh, okay. So he's like partially
it's
transformed.
Like symbolism too.
Okay, so he would need some gecko skin. Well, that's a good news, skinwalkers. I actually have an excess amount of gecko skin. My loss, your gain. It's going for cheap. Cheap, guys. Everybody comment who wants gecko skin.
I know what I have.
Oh, all right. Continue. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, skinwalkers, I should probably stop saying it because I've said it a lot. I'll keep you updated if we get any banging on our windows or roof, and if our cat stops eyeballing us all creepily. I think our cat watches over us.
Yeah, he was like meowing at something.
Yeah, like on the ceiling. It's kind of weird. Yeah. You know, it'd
Nice.
be really easy to shapeshift into a fly. Like, think of how easy it is to get a lot of flies. And you put all the flies on, and then you're like, Moth. That's the Legend of Mothman. That's
But
coming
how
up
are
next.
you gonna commit?
Thanks for watching the show. Simple. What's our show name? Thanks for watching Spooky Space.
It's not even close. We hope you enjoyed our very first episode of Specter Space. And if you or anyone you know has had an experience with a skinwalker, we would love to hear about it. We will be releasing episodes quite frequently, so if you're interested in this type of ghastly, ghoulish, and mythical content, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and turn on the notifications. To get an inside look at any future topics and content, follow our Instagram at Specter Space Show. See you next week.
Bye.